but it gives supports like a bit more impact in fights, which is pretty nice. Although I don't know if a 5 would ever buy it, so I don't know. Yeah, it's an item. No, it's an item where you spawn a totem that like you can move around. And it's like a giant radius that reduces people's damage. Yeah, you just like plop it in the middle of a fight and hope no one sees it. Because they're like too busy like seeing red. I don't know what the other items are, but I just saw it in the major, the recent major, and it's like pretty much in every game, every like high level game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a busted item. It's like 30% DR is... that's like, to 5 players, that's a lot. Yeah, it's AoE, yeah. Yeah, it does. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alright, that's in your recording. It is consciousness. But if, for example, you can only tell that you exist at this current point. You can't tell that you existed prior to this point because of your memories, because obviously your memories can be full. You only know at this exact moment in time that you exist.
Yeah. Okay. So like this is the question: do you think that subject is a combination of your memories and like your senses and all these different things, or do you think it exists in itself?
Sorry, what do you mean subject?
So that thinking thing that we're talking about, which is consciousness. Do you think that
wait. I don't think it's consciousness per se, right?
Okay, well, it's just... Well, I'm trying to mix the two, but like it's kind of awkward to do that, right? So let's just talk about the thinking thing then.
Sure.
Do you think that thinking thing is a sort of a macro property of all the brain activity, or do you think that it exists in itself? Like, do you think there's a specific thing which that consciousness is, whether it's in the brain or not? Or do you think it's just like the...
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what it is, this quote thinking thing, is a subjectively created thing. Like, for example, like when we group things by like object, like I'm sure you've seen like
The due process clause provide the right to privacy that protects a pregnant woman's right to choose whether to have an abortion. It also ruled that this right is not absolute and must be balanced against government's interest in protecting women's health and prenatal life. What? Right to privacy and government's interest in protecting women's health and prenatal life. The court resolved this balancing test by tying state regulation of abortion to the 3 trimesters of pregnancy. During the first trimester, governments could not prohibit abortions at all. During the second, governments could require reasonable health regulations. During the third, abortions could be prohibited entirely. Okay. So I imagine the problem with overturning Roe versus Wade is basically destroying the whole trimester thing and having all abortions be wrong.
Really? I thought abortion laws were like adjudicated by each state individually.
Yeah. So every state has the ability to intervene.
So it's like it's releasing it from federal jurisdiction and turning.
Yeah, it's not federal, but it like balances out the. In the first trimester of a pregnancy, the state's not allowed to do anything. In the second trimester, a state can like intervene if it wants to, for health reasons. On the third trimester, a state can entirely prohibit the abortion altogether. So that's like the link between state regulation and abortions.
Okay, this thing's dying, right? Surely.
That's bro,
Say
you got
an
this.
Islamic prayer.
Oh great, you just fucking outed yourself. Nice.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Yo, nice.
Oh, dude.
Inshallah.
Wait, can you still die?
Inshallah.
Yeah, man. Dude, I was like looking at that. I was like, holy shit.
Yo, nice. How many